So we back with another video on the New Era channel, man. How are we doing? So PSYKOTIC, man. Osamason's next to be released album. I heard a lot of PSYKOTIC leaks. It's kind of the same shit that he's been doing, just aggressive synths, aggressive 808s, aggressive everything. Keep it really simple. Try to make this very quick. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so we got the first melody here. The faint synth. And then nothing really much going on, just a mid boost and a high boost. And a low cut, obviously. So that's pretty simple. I then took a Electra preset. The digital bells from the bass got a kit. Added some auto chroma on there. And then it just low cut and a high cut. And this is what it sounds like. And typically what I'll do with these types of melodies that have a shit ton of effects on them is I will either do a 4-bar or 8-bar export. So I will export it out through the mixer and then I'll just keep it here. So paste it over. That's what I did here, as you can see. Just because the effects can become super overbearing on the actual, not even just the beat, but also FL Studio itself, you know what I'm saying? And then after that, I went into Serum and I added a little synth. We got the ether synth. And then this is what I did. And then I used auto chroma again from the pink kit, and then a low cut. And then again, I made sure to export this just because, you know, there's a shit ton of effects going on. I want the effects to cut off after the 4-bar. I then did like a quick stuttery sound here. I did a pluck from the noise serum bank. I got some auto chroma on here as well, the mana choir, some chorus because I wanted to expand it a little bit. And then I just turned the mix down a little bit on the auto chroma to about half. So this is what it sounds like. And I didn't even really touch the velocities. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Not too much technicality that goes into this. Yeah, and then we just added a bass. I went with the Dragon bass from the Noise Serum Bank. And then with this bass, I wanted to sauce it up a little bit. For most of my loops, I'll pretty much always keep the bass very stagnant. And I'll just like do this, where I'll just, you know, basically do that. But for this one, I wanted to add a little bit more of bounce to it and more of a pattern. So this is what it sounds like. And that's just pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie, that shit pretty tough. And then the last thing we added was this like dirty ass synth. It's called Brutality. And I just did some slides. Auto chroma. And then everything together is gonna sound like this. Alright, now into the beat. Started off with a snare. I pretty much always start off with a clap or a snare. Start off with this snare. Southside snare. Very nice. Added another snare behind it. Pay attention to this. Actually, I don't even think I meant to keep these in. Leave them in there. You can barely even hear it. Hi-hats, super simple. Basically just went in and did this and then took some of the notes out. So like if you'll notice, there's a few gaps right here, right? Like this one. I'll just go ahead and play it out. So I just wanted a little bit, you know, of a break, some of the areas in the hi-hats, because, you know, if it just stayed like this, it just would have, I don't know, I think it would have gotten too repetitive. And then one thing I like to do in a lot of my beats is the second half, like the latter half of the 4 bars, or at least the 3rd to the 4th bar, I will just pitch down the hi-hats a few notes, or semitones. So for this one, I pitched it down 2. So it doesn't make a crazy difference or anything like that, but definitely like an auditory difference that you can pick up on, you know. From there, we added some open hats. I always put at least one open hat, like on the one. Like on the beat start, so right here it's this little open hat, and then I just pitched it down like that. And then we got this, if y'all know this open hat, I'm sure y'all do. pretty nice, pretty fucking nice. And then 808s. This is one of my favorite 808s. I use this, but it's pretty simple. I did it, like I said, pretty aggressive, man. A lot of repetitive hits on these 808s. And I didn't even make it 8 bars. I just did some sorry ass 4-bar pattern, and then I used a kick. Not a lot of people use kicks nowadays, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm a man that still likes to use kicks, you know what I'm saying? So I threw some kicks in here. Didn't do shit to it, just left it like that. So that's this part of the beat. Alright, and then for the verses, man, the verses was a little bit different. I switched it up, and I actually basically used the same exact pattern, but I switched up the 808 to this, something a little bit more like dirty sounding. So it sounds like that. There's looking like a built-in kick, but not really. Change this up a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. Very simple beat. I just kind of wanted to give y'all like the breakdown of like all the presets and shit. Hopefully Osamason sees this video and buys this beat off me, man. I appreciate the love, man. If y'all fucked with the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. And yeah.